So I'm definitely going to preface this video by not gaslighting you and telling you that, oh my God, why are you still thinking about men and relationships and love? Being single is great. You should go out there and enjoy life and all that kind of jazz. And I'm not going to do that, not because I don't believe that singlehood can be truly amazing and that it's not possible to be enjoying life to the fullest and just living the dream, but simply because two things can be true at the same time. You might be having an amazing time being single and living your life and going after your dreams and doing everything that you've ever dreamed of, but at the same time, you still might be longing for a partnership that is meaningful and it makes you feel loved and supported. And I know that occasions like Valentine's Day or a friend's relationship anniversary or like wedding anniversary or whatever it is can make us feel a little bit more, sad or just longing for that relationship a little bit more. And so if you spend this Valentine's Day or whatever day it is that you're watching this video being single and thinking if you're ever going to manage to find the love of your life, or if there's something wrong with you for being single or anything along those lines, then please grab a cup of coffee because I do have a few things to say to you. First things first, before you start spiraling down the line of all the self-destructive thoughts of, oh my God, I'm going to stay alone for the rest of my life, I want you to make an agreement with yourself. And that agreement is the I want to be in a relationship, but not at any cost agreement. Let me explain. Unlike men who get raised in a narrative and in a reality that keeps telling them that you should go out there and go after your dreams and enjoy life and live, love, and laugh. And then when you've done it all and you've seen it all, you will eventually find your wife or your forever partner or the love of your life. Women get raised in a narrative and a reality that keeps telling them that life starts with a man, and boy, it doesn't. Now, don't get me wrong. I truly believe, and I've said it a million times and I will say it a million more, that finding the right partner and having the right man by your side can be one of the most positively transformative experiences of your life. But that doesn't mean that life and happiness starts with that man. It means that love finds you there. It finds you happily living. And the reason why I insist so much on that, and I'm specifying it, is because considering the fact that women grow up in a narrative that keeps telling them that they need the man to complete the puzzle so they can start happily living, most women end up making so many rushed relationships about partnerships and relationships that are so traumatic and so toxic and just overall so wrong, simply because they don't know otherwise, simply because they don't know that this is not the case. So before I say anything else, please find yourself a mirror, look at yourself and say, I want to be in a relationship, but not at any cost. And I hear you. You're gonna hit me back and say, girl, I know you're so right, but honestly, I've tried it and that's all I can think about. And the reason why that's all you can think about is because you cannot not think of something. You can only think of something else. The human brain is made in a way that it cannot deduct. It can only add or multiply. So if I tell you don't think of an elephant, or in this case, don't think of men or relationships or finding the love of your life, then your brain can literally only think of that. On the contrary, if instead of telling you to not think of an elephant, I tell you, hey, what about giraffes? You are automatically going to start thinking about giraffes. Now, what does wild nature and wildlife have to do with your love life, you're asking? Here's the answer. Getting busy with your own ambition, your own friends, your own hobbies, your own adventures is not only going to make you stop obsessing about getting into a relationship and finding the love of your life, but it's almost going to guarantee that you will eventually get into one. Think of it this way. Who would you be more likely to fall in love with? A man that is constantly sad, constantly complaining that he's single, constantly complaining about women and how they are these days, he's never smiling, he never seems to be doing anything in his life? Or is it going to be a man that he's always so happy and smiling and he has all these friends and he's traveling and he has his ambition and his business or whatever it is that he's doing? So I think the answer is guy number two. And the reason for that is because deep down we know and we understand and we recognize that what a healthy relationship looks like is a union between two people that live full, happy lives, not a union between two people that just want to get a life and then they cling on to the other person so they can get there. A healthy relationship is a relationship of people who choose to make the other person their life, not because they don't have one, but because they think this is the better choice. So if you can't stop thinking about your relationship status, then this means that it's time for new hobbies and new challenges and new adventures and new businesses, not time for new men, new thoughts, and new drama. You need to get up and then the universe meets you at your level. And I can hear the next objection, which is most probably something along the lines of, yeah, but all of my friends are in relationships and they're living their happily ever after. And that not only keeps me from getting busy with them and doing things with them, but it also puts an extra pressure on me because I just keep wondering if I will ever have what they have. And once again, your feelings are valid, but two things can be true at the same time, which means that your feelings are valid, but there is also a solution to that. Friend circles can always be expanded, and that doesn't mean that you need to stop hanging out with your usual friend group simply because they are in relationships, but it means that just because you're friends with them, it doesn't mean that you cannot make new friends and be friends with people whose life experience at the moment relates to yours. You can still hang out with your usual friends and do all the things you usually do with them, but you can also have those new friends that you can spend Valentines with, or you can go to spontaneous trips with, or you can start a new hobby with them, or whatever it is. And even if that isn't an option, you are an option. Solo traveling is an option. Dates with yourself is an option. The idea is to create a life that you're in love with and that you are happy and okay with where you are at the moment. And that ideally includes a lot of people, but in reality, it only needs one person, and that person is you. And I get it. I know that looking at your friends living their happily ever after and being in those amazing, dreamy relationships they've always wanted can make you doubt your own prospects when it comes to relationships and love. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, why wouldn't I find love? Why wouldn't a kind, thoughtful, loving person not find love? The fact that you haven't found it yet doesn't mean that you are not going to find it. It simply means that everyone's timing in love, in success, in career is different, and that's pretty much all it says about you in your life. Another person might be happily in a relationship, but their careers are far behind. Someone might be happily married, but they're not talking to their parents anymore. Someone might be happily in a relationship, but they don't have any friends. You seeing the relationship part and thinking that they have it all simply because they have what you don't have doesn't make that the truth. Everyone's timing is different, and so are everyone's priorities. So instead of, keep thinking, oh my God, there's something wrong with me, just take a moment, breathe, and appreciate all of the goodness that you have in your life, that somebody else might not be having that, and just be absolutely sure that you will find the love of your life, because why on earth wouldn't you? And lastly, I'm going to have a full circle moment because I'm going to go back to where I started the video, and that is that you do not want a relationship at any cost. If there is one thing that I wish you to keep from this video, is that there is no flexing in I am in a relationship. There is no flexing in I am in a relationship with a person that makes everything feel like a struggle. There is no flexing in being in a relationship where you have to say thank you to your partner for being a decent human being and doing the absolute bare minimum, which is being a nice guy. There is no flexing in being in a relationship where the other person forces you to choose between your family and friends and him. There is no flexing in being in a relationship where you don't feel loved, supported, and cared for in every single aspect you could probably think of. There is no flex in just being in a relationship. So to answer your question and your agonizing concern, you will find the love of your life, and you will experience the kind of love that wipes you off your feet and makes life feel like something entirely different that you didn't know it existed before. As long as you live, love, and laugh until that happens. As long as you work on yourself and your happiness individually until that happens. As long as you spend your precious and wonderful time on this earth living a full, happy life until that happens. Please believe me when I'm telling you that you can't pour out of an empty glass. So keep filling yours, because the love of your life will need a whole lot of pouring. Sending you much love and light. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video.